Mwahaha! Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. You know, I'm going to start this thing off real with you, America, because I just think sometimes we got to talk real every once in a while. I don't know why the mic cut out like that. But before we get started, welcome to Trip Talk. My name is Anthony Triplet. We got the lovely, beautiful Becca. She's going to be keeping this thing copacetic and keeping this thing flowing. So you might hear some cool things throughout the live stream and stuff like that. That's just, the producer messing around with some tools and stuff that we discovered that we were able to mess with some of our technology and whatnot. But don't let that fool you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you have not already. It's a free way that you guys can help us grow and support this channel. Little by little, we're going to try and build up this channel with truth after truth after truth, because that's what this channel is about. Us talking about the truth. Because as we all know, roses are red, bacon is savory, the U.S. tax code is nothing but slavery. What? Yeah, I know, right? Little Dr. Seuss for you guys today. So make sure you guys are clicking the like button, click the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Share this live with your friends, your veteran friends and patriots, because I'm directly trying to talk to you specifically, because I don't think a lot of people understand or even know what it means to call themselves a patriot. Right. And I'm talking specifically to the veterans out there today, too, because I know a lot of combat vets and stuff like that want to call themselves veterans, but have never sacrificed a single thing. And that's kind of concerning. So I want to know what you guys think. What is a patriot? Honestly, what is a patriot? Because I was under the impression it's not just somebody that loves America, bleeds red, white, and blue, wants to drink beers on the 4th of July, shoot fireworks and guns. That's not patriotism. That's just being an American. What I thought being a patriot meant was being able to sacrifice pretty much your all and go back in defense of your country from falling apart, whether it's foreign or domestic. Against all odds, against all enemies, because the majority of us who call ourselves patriots are veterans, those of us who have served. So when we took that oath, we meant it. We swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay, so I have to ask, well, what is a patriot then? Right? Because the veterans should be, by definition, the veterans should be stepping up to Congress, stepping up to local legislation, stepping up to the Senate, stepping up to the VA. The veterans should be stepping up to the city council, the county councils, the commissioners. The veterans should be doing those things when things are not going for the people. And right now, we're witnessing it firsthand. A lot of things not going for the people. A lot of special interest groups, whether it's left, whether it's the right, happen to be getting all of the accolades while Americans are eating out of trash cans, stealing each other's gas. Like, that's the reality we are. We have people hunched over at the supermarket in the front. We all see it. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. While other countries are relying solely on us to give and give and give, and yet we are supposed to just continue to keep our heads bowed down and act like everything's going to be okay. It's not okay. It's not okay now. Why would we expect it to just get okay later? That's the part I don't understand, especially when you look at yourself as a veteran and want to call yourself a patriot, but at the end of the day, you're just playing sides and teams. So if you think that you are a person out there who seriously considers himself a patriot, I challenge you to ask yourself and look into what it is, to what a real patriot is. Because I pulled up a little a little, I just typed in online, what is a patriot? And a patriot is someone who loves, supports, and is loyal to their country at its core. Patriotism is about caring enough about your nation, community, and fellow citizens to want the best for them. Now, that seems like a pretty broad and generalized definition if you ask me. But it also says on here, people disagree on what that looks like. Some people believe patriotism means supporting your country's leader, its institutions, its policies. Others believe that patriotism means holding leaders accountable when they violate the Constitution or public trust. That is what I believe patriotism is. Because it's too easy for any of us to just play teams, play sides, pick and choose who we want to follow, listen to, guide us. Because apparently free will and thinking has been oblivious to Americans for the last 60 years. If you free think and have an independent thought, somehow you become the problem. So people have converted themselves to pick sides and teams, and instead of it being God, family, country, it has become country, family, maybe God. And that bothers me to my core. It bothers me to my core. In the one country where you're allowed to step up and say no, it bothers me, and it should bother you too. So if you're one of those people that just believe that playing teams and following the law means you're a patriot, I have to say no. If you think just following the law, no matter what the law is, and doing your part by paying taxes makes you a patriot, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not. Okay? When you're watching your leaders that you picked, when you're watching them purposely, actively fail and do things that they say they weren't going to do, but you blindly support them because you don't want your team to look bad, or you don't want to turn your back on your team and ignore the reality, that's on you. Because I believe a real patriot is willing to hold the leaders, the public people that we put in charge. They're public people. We put them in charge. I believe a patriot is someone who's willing to hold them accountable against all odds. Okay? It's one thing to try to express your patriotism and your love for the country through military service and public service and stuff like that. But if the things that you are actively doing is going against the will of the people or the Constitution, you're not a patriot. You're just a follower. If you are in those positions thinking that you are doing so out of patriotism or something like that, but you're really going against the will of the people or the Constitution, you are just a puppet. You are not a patriot. At the end of the day, if it's unconstitutional, illegal, immoral, or unethical, you don't have to stand for it. Period. Period. If it's unconstitutional, illegal, immoral, unethical, you do not have to support it. Period. That is literally how our Constitution is designed. If it's illegal, immoral, or unethical, you do not have to stand by it. But the big piece that everybody wants to forget and just overpass or use like it's some type of paperweight is the Constitution. People they want to float the Constitution around, but they don't even pick it up and read it. Patriots, veterans, they know my First Amendment, my Second Amendment. That's all they know. They don't look past the first two. They don't even read. They don't read. You can get one of these and keep it on you and read. All you got to do is go pick, where's the camera at? All you got to do is pick one up. I'm saying this because if you believe that you are calling yourself a patriot, doing your part by just tucking your head and following the rules, you're wrong. Especially right now. George Washington and his homies were stopping people for less. Wake up. Wake up. And who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You want to tote around and act like you big and bad because you served the country and did this and did that. But when it comes time to serving your country here in America, you want to turn and tuck your tail. Well, I don't know where to do. I don't know how to get started. No one's going to let us do anything. Motherfucker, who says who? Who are you asking permission for, first and foremost? Organize. Start your own thing. No, but if we organize, they're just going to call us all J6ers and blah, 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 blah. Do it right. Quit doing stupid stuff. Do it right. Hold them accountable. Those are the things that you can do. Those are the things I know you can do, but you don't do. Because we follow the records. I don't see you guys showing up to public comment. You can do that the city, the county, the state. In a lot of instances, we're learning you can do that at the federal level. I don't see y'all showing up, but the lobbyists won't. The lobbyists aren't in charge. Y'all don't even know how the process works, but you want to call yourself a patriot. But you don't even know what a committee is. You don't even know who's voting on what committee. But you want to call yourself a patriot, but you don't even know how it works. You don't even know how it works. But hey, go ahead, open up that six-pack, light off some fireworks, hit the barbecue, call yourself a patriot. Or better yet, you're going to call yourself a patriot because you're going to go stand up against the freaking trans Tifa mafia and Pride all June because I'm a real American and the U.S. flag is my pride flag. I'm a patriot. Shut that shit up. If I don't see y'all at the committee meetings, if I don't see y'all doing public comment, providing testimony, you're not involved. Period. I'm talking to you patriots. I'm talking to you veterans. I'm talking to you police officers, firefighters, EMTs, lawyers, doctors, anybody that can read, write, and spell. I'm talking to you. If you live in the United States of America, I'm talking to you because you have options, but you choose to go online like the court of public opinion matters. That's not the record. The court of public opinion don't matter in the comment section. There is a comment section in the court of opinion that you can utilize, but you don't. You don't. Because they're public record and you can look it up. If you provided testimony on said bill or said topic, you can voice your concerns and hold the people accountable. And don't tell me you're a patriot if you're going to sit there and tell me that you're scared of some suit and tie. We got all the guns in America. Fuck yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. But you too scared to go provide testimony against the freaking powers that you publicly say you hate on social media. Nah, Trip, you're wrong. You're going too far, man. It's not even like that. Tone it down. You're calling out the wrong people. You're going to catch more flies with honey than you will vinegar. Look, I ain't trying to catch flies. I can catch a lot more flies with shit, too. But guess what? I ain't throwing shit. Period. The truth is you have options. You choose not to do it. The truth is you know what you need to do, but you don't do it. Instead, you hope somebody will do something. Oh, and the other people, don't worry, Trump will fix it. It's just all part of the 5-point plan. It's 5D. Shut that 5D chess, blah, blah, bullshit up. And if I'm saying something that's a little too much for you, pull up your big boy pants and get with the program, period. I'm not going to soften it up for you people in the back. I'm a combat veteran and been through way too much to see our country and my state go into complete turmoil and everybody want to tuck their tails and act like they too scared to say shit. Well, I'm going to tell you something, America. I'm going to tell you something I heard Chris Rock say one time and it stuck with me for life. If you show me a grown man that ain't never said the word shit, I'm going to show you a man that's full of shit. Period. I don't care if that hurts your feelings. I don't care how it makes you feel. Get with the program. There are real policies, real bills going through committees right now as we speak, or as I speak. And none of you guys are participating in the events and the process. Y'all gonna wait until after it's done and then complain about it and blame the left, blame the right, instead of participating in the process and trying to get it completely stopped. That's the power of the people that you have, but you choose not to do it. We know you know how to do it because you guys will find these radical activists and they show up and do it. And when they show up and do it, instead of you guys doing the same thing, you guys are going to sit there and pick on them in the comment section. Look at that stupid hippie liberal, the green hair. At least they showing up during the process. At least they're showing up during the process. And no, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the part where you go, see, I told you guys he was just some fucking lefty loony or he's some hippie loony. No, look, I'm not far left. I'm not left anything. I'm not far right. I'm not right anything. I'm right here centered with Christ and looking at the truth. The truth is the people that are showing up during the process are the same ones that you guys are picking on in the comments. But you guys want to say that all the left is bad or all the Democrats are bad. At least they show up. At least they show up. And don't sit there and tell me, well, it's because they're showing up because they're getting paid to show up. They're paid activists. That could be true. And that is true in a lot of cases, and we've proved that and looked into it. That is the case in some instances. However, that's not an excuse for you not to do your part. Because I know for a fact that you can provide testimony, comments, and do the testimony on video. I know you can because I've done it. I know you can. If you can't tell your boss, hey boss, I need to take 1 hour out of the day today. I have to testify on such and such that's for our rights. Your boss probably didn't even know that was happening. He probably like, oh, you going to testify? Oh, what? How can we do it too? And now you got more people testifying, but y'all don't even try. You don't even try. You don't. But you're going to sit there and spend 8 hours a day on social media picking on the left for showing up. That is the truth. Again, I'm taking an outside perspective, looking at the left, looking at the right, looking at the center. And the reality is both sides and in the middle is just throwing crap at everybody. Want to blame one another, but ain't nobody showing up to the process but those that you want to pick on. But at least they're willing to step up and try. At least they're willing to step up and try. While y'all are picking on them, while they're testifying. So I ask you, who's the bigger patriot? The one willing to sacrifice their complete public image, completely get ridiculed by all of you people out there, regardless of what it is they're proposing or testifying on. You don't have to like it, but at least they are doing their part, utilizing the process and the system that America has provided. That's patriotism. You don't have to like what they're proposing, but at least they are trying. But if your only option is to tease them in the comment, you ain't a patriot. I'm calling you out. All of you out. Come see me. I'll show you how to do it. Come see me. I will gladly walk you through step by step. I'll hold your hand too. We'll go pick up a copy of the Constitution. We'll get a copy of the state Constitution. I'll take you to the library, get you a library card. And I'll go through step by step and show you the process. I'll introduce you to where the people hold the meetings. All you got to do is show up. Come see me. I will show you. I will show you. But you got to do your part. I can't testify on your behalf or on everybody else's behalf. You got to do your part. You got to do your part. And everybody wants to go straight to, well, we need to start capping people and hanging people and all this. We haven't even tried the other way. We haven't even tried to flood the legislature, the city council meetings. We haven't tried to flood them because that's your right. You can do it. And they have to listen. Hold them accountable. Stop complaining and arguing with your neighbors. Why would I argue with my neighbor over some policy that the mayor and the city council is pushing? Make that make sense. Why would I argue with my neighbor when the city council's the one pushing this bullshit? Explain that to me. Even if I didn't vote for those who was on city council and they did. That doesn't matter. Those people are in the position and are putting this up. So why would I argue with my neighbor versus putting my argument on the record? Make it make sense. But you see, the puppet masters, they want you guys arguing with each other. That's what they want, because that's how they maintain the control. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to type in the reports, the committees, and see who's on what. And then you can find out their public information and email them, call them. You can do that. It is your right. And you don't sit there and think, well, they're too busy for me. Nah, they ain't that busy. I promise you. They got a whole staff and they ain't that busy. I promise you. I promise you, they ain't that busy. They make it seem like they're that busy. They ain't that busy. They have to get back to, they will. And if they don't, you can hold them accountable, because then they can pick and choose who they're responding to or not. And I challenge you, because I've done it. I sent a testimony and follow up, and I sent it to every single person in our legislature. Left, right, independent. I sent it to every single one. And here's the shocking part. Well, it's not shocking to me. It might be shocking to you. I didn't get a response from my actual district representation. But I did, in fact, get a response from other district representation in my state, helping me along the way. Now, interesting. How is that the case if all of the right is bad? How is that the case if all of the left is bad? Come on, America. How is that the case when both of them were providing me the proper areas in which to provide proper testimony and or help push the guidance along the way? So tell me. I got one even better for you. Since everybody's so invested in this Iran-Israel war right now, it is the talking talk, right? It's the talk of the talk. Everybody's so engaged with what's Trump going to do. What's Bibi going to say? Bibi didn't know? Oh my God, the prime minister doesn't know. But guess what? Mike Huckabee said this. Shut the fuck up. Check this out. Because all that bullshit's going on is all talking points. We know the president doesn't have real power in that area. He doesn't. At the end of the day, the power comes from Congress. This is why even the agreement has to go to Congress. In case you guys didn't know. Has to still go to Congress, because Congress holds the actual voting power. Now, let me explain something to you, America. Because this is true. There are real things out there, like who are members of the AIPAC committee. And if AIPAC controls 76% of our Congress, now remember, ladies and gentlemen, Congress makes up the U.S. representatives, the House of Representatives, and of course the Senate. Okay? Together that makes up the United States Congress. I just need you guys to stay with me so far. I ain't lose nobody. I hope I ain't lose nobody so far. But anyways, there are people like Senator Tom Cotton. Senator Tom Cotton, who is actively proposing a law that would merge the Mossad and the CIA forever. Tom Cotton, ladies and gentlemen, look him up. And I want you guys to look up this specific section of this specific bill. This is what I am talking about, because this is where the power actually happens. They can talk about peace agreement, $300 billion here. That's just side deals. They can talk about that all day. But the real power still comes down to Congress and certain bills that they're voting on that you guys don't even know. So I'm going to pull this little thing up that you guys can see here, because this is what's going on. Tom Cotton, right here, has officially proposed a law that could merge Mossad and the CIA forever. Section 622, ladies and gentlemen, Section 622 of the Intelligence Authorization Bill. And what that section would do is make it illegal to suspend intelligence sharing with the nation of Israel. That's this week, ladies and gentlemen. That is this week. And you guys are not talking about it. Now, if you guys go to the Intelligence Authorization Bill and go to Section 622, you guys can look up what that looks like. You can see it for yourself. This is how laws and things like this get passed. It has to go to the committee, and they're going to vote on it. They're going to have hearings on it. They have to speak up on this. You can watch this on C-SPAN. This is how this works. If they all vote on this and it goes in favor, because remember, 76% of Congress is owned by AIPAC, that means that this is more than likely to pass. And if that were to pass, that means that we as American citizens, our intelligence agencies that we are paying for, it would now be illegal to not share information, to suspend sharing information with them, intelligence information. These are your U.S. senators, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. You guys can go to the Intelligence Authorization Bill right now. Congress.gov. Go there. And you guys can provide comment on the bill. You can do it. I recommend you do it. I hope that you do it. Because those are your opportunities to get your voice heard, to make a difference, to actually show people maybe you are a patriot. Maybe the blue-haired hippie is onto something because they're holding them accountable. Maybe instead of arguing with my neighbor, I hold the people that are proposing this stuff accountable. Maybe we try that before we go to just slaying lead. I don't know. But like I asked earlier, if you're one of those just following the law or just blue no matter who, right because it's right, or right, you know whatever. If you're one of them people, you need to wake up. If you're one of those people that cannot realize that it's two wings of the same bird, if you're not realizing that by now, it's going to be really, really rough for you guys to understand the nature of where we're at. Because you're not in the right when it's okay for the system, the powers that be, to collect all of our data and information and then make it illegal to want to keep it with only us and not give it away. If we were to give our information to China, you guys would be losing your minds. But the reality is we have a bunch of senators, we have a bunch of representatives that are owned by AIPAC. And there are individuals that are working to stop this. Whether it's left or right, there are real people that are working to stop this. And you guys, instead of just looking at the little D or the little R in their name...
I'm getting ready to sign the crack AIPAC pledge. It's pretty common sense. It means that we shouldn't be sending our tax dollar money for foreign wars overseas. We should be spending it here at home.
Sorry. See, I was trying to find the actual right video for you guys.
Thomas Massey and I are teaming up again to...
No, that's not working right. Damn it. There we go. This is how I want to do it. Because there are people out there that are dismissing Ro Khanna just because he's a Democrat. And that's a shame. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Hi, everyone. I'm getting ready to sign the crack AIPAC pledge. It's pretty common sense. It means that we shouldn't be sending our tax dollar money for foreign wars overseas. We should be spending it here at home. And it says that we shouldn't be taking money from AIPAC or all of its affiliate PACs or bundled money from those organizations, and that we have to recognize the genocide that took place in Gaza. So I'm going to be signing this pledge, and I hope others will follow.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really that easy. You follow the people that are in charge or in these positions, and you look at what they're actually working on and working to do. Start doing it instead of just looking at the D or the R, or the I, whatever it is that they are supposedly representing. It's obvious that they're not representing you, us, we the people. So veterans, patriots, get off your asses and go provide some testimony. Get off your asses, learn the process. Get off your asses and go provide comment. Go learn what the actual process is. What can I do to make a difference instead of just arguing and complaining with your neighbors in the comment section? Set up an organization, a team, a group. Do something, but sitting around arguing, calling yourself a patriot because you think that you can pick on somebody with blue hair or some shit because it's Pride Month is not how you provide your patriotism to America. It's not. I don't know who fooled you and told you that that's the way to do it, but it's not. It's not. Because both of you, whether you're left or right, are still getting fucked by the same bird. That's the reality. So y'all can argue amongst each other all day. The same people providing the policies and the proposing the laws, like Tom Cotton, are the ones that you should be really mad at. And there's ways to get them out of there. There's ways to hold them accountable. But you got to do your part. Doing your part does not mean arguing with your neighbor in the comment section and picking on the hippie blue. I'm just... You guys make me sick when I see that constantly. Don't understand what committee even means. I asked somebody, hey man, well, did you show up to session last year or last session? They said, what do you mean? What session? I said, what do you mean? What is session? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't never show up. I don't know nothing about no session. What do you mean you don't know? Do your part, ladies and gentlemen. Do better. My name is Anthony Triplett. I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon.